Okay, guys, the story we're going to read is called The Dark Night.
Okay,
I'll sit down by Tyson. I'll turn around. You guys got to sit down. I'll read it to you this way. Everyone has to sit.
I need to see the bed.
Okay, go sit down. You going to listen or no? Nope, don't sit there. It'll break. Here, sit down right here. Sit down next to Hayden. It's called The Dark Night. And the author's name is M. Christina Butler. Christina like you. And the illustrator is Jane Chapman. What do you guys think the story's about?
It's raining out and they get scared.
Yeah? Anyone else?
How about the mirror?
Oh, gotta sit down.
How about the mirror?
No, we're gonna sit down. Sit down.
I want that.
Not yet. In a little bit. After the story, you can play with that. Why don't you go sit down? Okay. Anyone else have any ideas what it's about? What's it about?
Bunnies. Cinnamon.
Okay, ready? Yep. It's just the blue page. The Dark Night. On the way. Oh, let's start from the beginning. Christina, can you sit down?
How about this?
Frog was very excited. All winter he had been asleep under a stone, and now it was spring. He was on his way back to the pond. On the way, he bumped into Badger and Hedgehog. Then he played leapfrog with Rabbit and Mouse. Those are fun games. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of dark and spooky. Suddenly, he saw that it was getting dark, so he borrowed a lantern from the mouse. And off he went through the woods to the pond. Ooh, ooh, the wind blew in the trees. Squeak, squeak went the lantern as it swung from side to side, and the dark was all around.
Here's a pumpkin. Here's a pumpkin.
When Frog reached his home, sit down,
Here's
child.
a pumpkin.
You guys gotta sit down, listen. When Frog reached his home, he put the lantern down behind him and was about to jump into the water when he saw... What do you guys think he saw?
A monster.
Oh, a monster. What do you think he saw, Christina?
I think he saw a bear.
A bear? What do you think, Tyson?
Monster.
Could be. You don't know? Should we see it?
A polar bear.
A polar bear. A huge black pond monster was with enormous claws coming out of the reeds. Ooh, look at that's the pond monster. Anyone have any ideas what they think that is?
It's a shadow.
How do you know that?
Because it's the frog. Because if he's doing that same thing like that.
Well, you guys are too smart. Maybe. Well, we're gonna have to read to the end of the story to see. Christina, can you sit down, sweetie? Go sit down. You can sit down and play snack over there. Oh, you guys think it's a shadow. I don't know. I think it might be a pond monster. Looks pretty scary to me, but it's big. It's not green like a frog.
Here.
Frog grabbed the lantern and hopped as fast as he could back through the woods. Can you sit down, Christina, so they can see the story? Go sit down, sweetheart.
Mama can't
Okay.
see it.
There's a huge monster in the pond, he cried. Are you sure? Laughed the hedgehog. Frog nodded, trembling. All right, said Hedgehog calmly. We'll have a look together. And I'll come too, said Mouse. I wonder if they see monsters too. Do you think they'll see a monster? The same one? What do you think they'll see?
They see the same shadow.
Hey, Christina, how about you come sit next to me? Come sit right here. Okay.
They'll see the same
Yeah, Christina, you're going to sit in my lap. I don't know. Maybe they'll see the same shadow.
I can't see,
Oh,
Mom.
I'll make sure you see. Don't worry. Off they went through the woods. Ooh, the wind blew in the trees. It is getting dark. Squeak, squeak went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse, and the dark was all around. Soon, Hedgehog and Frog reached the pond. Now, said Hedgehog, where is this monster? What happens? Have you guys read this story before? No? Hold on a second. There it is, cried Frog. It was bigger than before, with enormous claws and terrible spikes down its back. Run, run, cried Hedgehog. Pond monster, pond monster.
And he's in front of it. That's why it looks like he got spikes.
Yeah? You guys think that's what it is?
Yeah.
They're shadows? Or is it really a monster?
It's a shadow.
Oh, that's kind of a weird shadow.
Okay, there's what happened.
What's all this, chuckled Rabbit? A monster? There's no such thing as monsters. Come see for yourself, said Hedgehog, shivering. All right, said Rabbit. I will. I'll never swim in the pond again, sniffed Frog as they set off through the woods. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. We'll put it on in a second. Here, why don't you go sit next to Charlotte and put it on, okay? Sit down right there and try to put those on. Ooh, the wind blew through the trees. Squeak, squeak went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse. And the dark was all around. What do you think happens?
To go see the shadow.
The same one?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, look at the frogs in front, spikes, and the bunny. What?
It wasn't long before they were back at the pond. Rabbit,
Mama, I can't see
Hedgehog, and Frog
Mama,
tiptoed into the water. There it was again, the big pond monster. It was bigger than ever.
Good. What?
It had enormous claws, terrible spikes down its back, and 2 big horns, and it was wildly waving its arms. Hey, Christina, can you sit down so everyone can see? Gotta sit down.
Ow.
So you guys think it keeps changing, though. It's not the same shadow, is it? Run for your life, yelled Rabbit, racing through the woods with Hedgehog, Frog, and Frog close behind. What's going on? Asked Badger. So they told him all about it.
I think that was that.
Yeah,
Guy.
you think so? And off they went once more. Woo, woo, howled the wind. Squeak, squeak went the lanterns. Wait for me, cried Mouse, and the dark was all around. You want to look at the cover again?
I thought the bears had
Oh, no, Christina. Nope.
2 years.
As they reached the pond, a huge gust of wind came through the trees and blew out all the lanterns. I can't see a monster, said Badger at last. That's because it's too dark, whispered Frog, and they all stood waiting in the moonlight for something to happen. Christina, you gotta move, sweetheart. Christina, you gotta sit down, sweetheart. Just then, Mouse caught up with the others. Yoo-hoo, she shouted, waving from the bank. Badger, Rabbit, and Hedgehog and Frog looked at Mouse, and then they looked at the small black shape waving from the reeds. What do they realize?
They realized that is just his shadow.
Look at that, said Hedgehog. That's not a pond.